can't go any more than I am. So it's been a while since we've talked about the OBZ. It's kind of just sat dormant in the background for quite a period of time. I haven't made any uploads about it. I really haven't even been driving it. I just haven't had the chance to do so. And I'll probably make a video about why. I've been, let's just say, a little bit distant from uploading videos for the last few months. But the good news is I'm gonna give you guys something that you're gonna be able to sink your teeth into with this truck in this video. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited about what's to come, especially for this project right here. Now, before we get any further, I do want to let you guys know that
last warning before this giveaway, the side-by-side ends. Get entered before this one ends, and you can still get entered for that right there behind me.
You might be taking that thing home with the trailer that comes along with it. The C8 giveaway is still live for a series of time. This giveaway actually ends in the beginning of December. Now, you guys saw the last video right here where we put a new set of $10,000 Vossens on this car, which totally transformed the look of it. It looks insane. It's a little bit dirty because, spoiler alert, this car is freaking fun as hell to drive. The setup from Vossen is actually their forged wheel. The other wheels are hybrid forged, which are a different manufacturing process. These ones are actually cut out of billet, just like our billet wheels that we have on a lot of the trucks that we've done on the channel. These ones are gloss black. They have the badass Vossen center cap that goes along very well with the whole red theme on this truck, and the black, of course. And the setup is 2021 staggered, fills out the wheel wells substantially better in my personal opinion, and it looks absolutely fierce. Now, we wanted to put two different versions of wheels on this car because we know that each enthusiast comes with a different style and taste preference. So if you enter for this thing and you're drawn to be the winner, you get to choose its style. Are you gonna go with the black wheels or are you gonna go with the silver wheels? The choice is ultimately yours at the end of the day. All right, guys, so the OBS 95 Crew Cab Long Bed Original Condition Ford F350 XLT, top of the line trim for $95 in its day. This truck is beautiful in so many different ways, and it's truly a one-of-one vehicle, but it's not 100% complete. And that's what we're gonna talk about in today's video. Now, it's been a little bit of time. Look at how freaking big this thing is. It's so sick. Since I've made a video about this truck, mostly because I just have not been allocating time or resources to it because I've been focusing on other avenues. I'm actually in the process of building a very special business right now that is ultimately going to allow me to get where I want to go substantially faster than some of the other things that I've done in the past. And that has really just taken my time. I'm very excited. I'm very passionate about it, etc. So now that some of those things are in the works, I wanted to kind of re-engage this project and get it over the finish line. So Zach from Precision Vehicle Works this morning is on his way down to pick this truck up, to bring it to his shop so we can get this thing through the last finishing details that it needs to truly be completed from top to bottom, front to back. Now, let's just recoup, shall we? There's a lot of historical content on this truck on my YouTube channel, so I don't want to beat on a dead horse by any means, but in total, in summary, this is a 1995 all original body Crew Cab Long Bed 95 F350 OBS. This thing is in perfect condition, like no rust whatsoever. Zero rust. It is just flawless. It was maintained by basically a private automotive collector. It was a two-wheel drive, 5.8 liter petroleum driven truck when we got it. And it has obviously seen a massive transformation over the last almost 2 years now. February of 2024 will mark 2 years with the ownership of this truck. And clearly it looks vastly different than when we first picked it up. If you want to see that video, I will link it right up here. Now, working with all of the local Lancaster automotive enthusiasts, we've been able to get it to where it is today. Hunter was able to fabricate a fully custom crossmember that allows us to marry up this DURTYMAX LBZ to this chassis, and he did not skimp out on building a beefy setup, to say the least. Thank you tremendously to Hicksville DURTYMAX out of Ohio for providing a very lively, young and youthful LBZ DURTYMAX that has only 70,000 miles on it. That was since swapped in. We had our friend Ken from Florida provide the standalone harness for this truck that allows us to actually run this thing as it's intended to, with limited in all of the retrospects of a simplified harness. Shout out to our farmers. That's still there for fun, but it doesn't really serve much of a function. Then to put the power to the ground, we have a 1,000 horsepower Whirly custom fab transmission that's married up into this thing As you guys can see right there, it's a beautiful trans that really doesn't see much light of the day, but judging by the condition of the large, deep oil pan, it's not really been used all that much. So that accomplished ultimately the drivetrain objective of the truck, but then I said, you know what? I want this thing to drive like a modern day F2 or 350, so let's go ahead and procure ourselves some new axles. Of course, that were fully rebuilt and powder coated and installed by Zach at Precision Vehicle Works. He's really overseen almost every component of this truck build. So you got the Dana 60 up front and the Dana axle in the rear, obviously all powder coated and looking beautiful. Then all of the Carly bits and the adjustable Synergy suspension components up front to really complete the front end. None of that factory drive linkage, which honestly doesn't really look all that good. And then we went with a two-tone powder coat, of course, on the Carly coil springs to bring a little bit of white to the theme of the overall theme of red and white in the truck because of the interior. Oh man, then we go down to the custom billet traction bars in the rear and 4-link in the front by Miles Plate Fab out of Ohio. Residency across this truck build that were actually powder coated clear to preserve the billet finish, to also reduce the overall maintenance of those items over time because billet can oxidize with the red faceplates inside. So sick. Polished custom built aluminum drive shaft, polished custom stainless exhaust the whole way back, and a bunch of other things that I'm not going to get into for all intents and purposes of this review. We're rolling around on a set of 355 4024 Nitto MTs on a set of 2414 concave specialty forged wheels. And that kind of summarizes in light all of the things that have been done at this very point in time. Phil from Fast Headlights just recently sent us out a set of custom built taillights for this thing, which look awesome. And there are some other aesthetic mods that are going to be hitting this truck here soon. This video today is mostly just to introduce you guys to the fact that yes, we will be kicking back off some form of diesel content. I know that you guys had missed that. I really do ask you guys though, like you should start to appreciate vehicles in general. Like to those guys that are like, oh, it's just diesel trucks always and forever. You kind of need to open up your perspective in life, because if you're that narrow-minded, how are you going to enjoy and embrace all of the other awesome aspects of being an enthusiast if you only ever just want one specific thing? And if that's how you are, then so be it. It's just maybe take a breath and understand that there's a lot of other enjoyment that comes from other things in the automotive community. That's just my 2 cents. If you don't agree with me, that's quite okay. I'm not too worried about it. Now, I've actually let this truck sit for so long that the battery's dead. And the reason the battery's dead is because my little boy, Jack, likes to jump inside the truck and play with turning on and turning off the headlights and some of the other electrical components. I did not realize that he left some of them on. So I'm gonna throw this thing on a battery tender. We're gonna get it fired up and we're gonna get it loaded up with Zach so he can take it down to his shop to begin the process of completion. Now, there are still a lot of things that need done, and these aren't just turnkey little items. We're talking totally custom completion, which is why Zach is the man to get it all done. There's really nobody else in the area that I know that could accomplish this type of a project in the timeline that he has taken it on. So I have to give a huge shout out and kudos to him. He has arrived. Boys and girls, check out his cat eye DURTYMAX. This thing is sick. It's actually painted that color. It is not vinyl wrapped. He's rolling around on a set 22x12 forces. It is a super clean truck. I dig it. I love this body style tremendously. I'm almost kind of contemplating building another cat eye. I don't know if I want to do like a single cab or maybe like a high horsepower quad cab short bed like this, but I'm also contemplating with getting a crew cab short bed, or should they say extended cab short bed 3rd gen, and building another 8-ball V2. I just don't know. All right, boys and girls, they're working on getting the battery re-jumped and restarted so that way they can drive this thing down. Of course, it starts raining right now. What an opportune time, but fortunately, it's not gonna melt. All right, boys and girls, change of scenery. We are down at Precision Vehicle Works, which might also semi-look familiar. This is actually the former location of Left Lane Coatings, as you guys know. I actually ended up closing that business. I'm not even gonna go into all the reasons why. I'm just gonna tell you that I'm really happy that I did start that business. I had the desire to get into that business. It was doing well, but I kind of spread myself a little bit too thin, and retail isn't really my forte. I like to be free, I like to frolic, I like to be a nomad in life, and ultimately being tied to a specific location did not allow me to do that since exiting. But it was great timing because Zach from Precision Vehicle Works actually was able to take the facility from me, and now he's got all of this glorious shop space. I'm also getting a phone call. 1 second. All right, so we got the good old LBZ in between the Ben Pack 2-post lift, and it is about to get real. This project has been put on the back burner just because of a million different things, but that is no longer. I'm not going to delay or bore you guys with any of those specific details. It is going to get kicked off, and I should say it's actually kicking off kind of as we speak. You can see that we've actually got some work that's taking place up underneath for our custom cross member that is going to be fabricated by Zach, along with a lot of other things. Just some teaser alerts. We've got some stainless bros, stainless steel piping right here that is going to be for some custom outfitting that is going to get done up and under the hood. Stepping up into this thing, you guys can see some construction is kind of already taking place for what will be the truly one-off, truly one-of-a-kind setup that this truck is to date. Now, there's a million other things going on the front end. The aesthetics are going to get improved. We had gone through and basically put all new hardware in that holds the headlight assembly together. Of course, the bezel that actually holds the headlights onto the assembly in the housing, that was all brand new. There's lots of sourcing that is going into this thing to make it the truly one-of-a-kind animal that it is. Getting to the inside, right? There are components of this truck that have been off since the project started that are going to get back installed when the other functional components of it are completed. Some panels need replaced. As you can see, unfortunately, as we go through these old trucks, panels become fickle and they just break a lot easier. That has happened, but all of those things are getting put back to speed and kind of brought back to their original condition. It's very exciting to say the least. And then there's some other little minor things that are kind of minor in the grand scheme of a big build like this, but are very major in the overall functionality that Zach is going to be able to accomplish for us. So thank God for this guy. Thank God that he exists, because without him, I don't know if a project of this nature and capability would have been possible locally here to me, but everything happens for a reason. Enough is enough on the OBS LBZ for now. I will have more videos coming for you guys here in the near future on this project. Let's just take a minute to admire that view right there. The square tires on the 14 wides with the square body, the long bed. Man, this thing is just so sick. So unique, so one of a kind. All right, boys and girls, and we are ending this vlog back here at the pole building. So that is a good look at everything that's going to be going down with the OBZ. And I will be filming update videos along the way as those custom bits and pieces are created and installed to get that truck totally buttoned up. I also wanted to let you know before I end the vlog that I will have an update for you guys on 8-Ball once Sean is back from SEMA. He's out there right now. I obviously did not participate this year, although I wanted to. It was just better that I was grounded to hang out with the family and our latest, youngest edition. Last and finally, this is my last reminder for the vlog to not only get entered for the C8 and $20,000 cash, but also the RZR Turbo before the RZR Turbo giveaway ends here at the end of the weekend. So yes, right now you get entered for both. It's two separate giveaways. However, it's not you enter for one and you win both. You enter for both, you end up winning one. You could win both. I'm not saying that that couldn't happen, but that is how it's offered up for you guys. Obviously, the new Vossens on this car look incredible. 2021. They are $10,000 wheels that truly set this car apart. With the aero on it, the exhaust, the whole 9 yards. I'm gonna be driving this thing a lot over the next few days because we're jumping back up into the 60s. Top off weather, baby. All freaking day. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all in the next upload.